Good morning, church family and the world. I hope that you're doing good. It's kind of a gloomy day today. It's Wednesday, um, April the 22nd, I believe. Anyway, I hope that you're doing well and hope that you are enjoying a day before it starts raining. It's about to rain here. It's early in the morning. It's not that early. But anyway, I ramble nevertheless. Anyway, I just wanted to be an encouragement today. And so this morning I want to read a text that is found in Romans. It's very familiar to us, I think. Romans chapter 12, verse 1 says, I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by the testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. I chose this today just because as I just always kind of think through what would be something that would be an encouragement to you, and with just a little bit of background of the text. It begins obviously with referring back to chapter 11, which is what we call the Hall of Faith, where it talks about the faith of Abraham and Moses, and it just draws this kind of picture of the encouragement, basically what they've gone through and who they are. Therefore, the challenge to us as believers is to present our lives as living sacrifices to God. And I love in verse 2 where it talks about, and I know this is probably not new for anybody, so just going to be a reminder, the idea here is the differences between conformity and transforming. And the idea, of course, with the word conform, do not be conformed by the world or to the world. The idea is don't allow the world to dictate and determine who you are. The picture here is of a sculpture almost that uses pressure to form the clay into whatever he wants it to be. And really that's a good picture that Paul is drawing there, that's exactly what the world, who is not under the control of Christ, but the world is influenced by Satan himself. And the picture here is not to allow the worldliness thing, all of those things, to determine who we are. And that's always a battle, that struggle between that old nature of who we were before we came to know Christ and the new nature that has been reborn, that gives us the freedom and the ability to overcome the world. And so the picture here then is don't be conformed. Don't allow the world to tell you who you are or what you're going to be, but be transformed. And that picture is from the inside out. Literally, that the Spirit of God that is in us is what should dictate us. And the reason why I brought this up, because if you haven't seen Carrie and Neil's messages for this week, I encourage you to go back and look at those. I hope that you're enjoying all of the videos that we're doing. We're having a good time doing them. But Carrie's video was really powerful to me Monday. The idea, what he talked about, what is the church going to look like, and the church being more than gathering together. And church, when we think about discipling, it begins with us. What are we doing? We can't take somebody somewhere that we've never been. And so I wonder, the encouragement or that I want to give today is you need to focus, first of all, on who you are as a disciple. And are you allowing worldliness to dictate and determine who you are? Because, listen, if you look around right now, there's a lot of hopelessness, a lot of fear, a lot of things that are going on. And I remind you that we're being formed from inside, the Spirit of God that lives in us, to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Every single day that we need to be first concerned with our own spiritual growth and our own devotion and spending time with the Lord, and then that gives us the opportunity to make disciples. And that's what Carrie's video was talking about on Monday. If you hadn't seen that, the importance that we don't do that in a building. We do that every day, one-on-one, one-on-two, and the influences and the people that we have. But it all begins with where we are. And, you know, my life experiences always have taught me that I always learn more in the crisis than I do when things are good, because that old nature tells me that I've got a handle on things and that I don't really need God. We know that's a lie. We know that's the devil's lie. But the reality is, when things are good, we have a tendency to, just like the children of Israel, to move away from our relationship with God because we think we can handle it. Then when the wheels fall off, we come back to that point of saying and understanding that we really don't get it. But our spiritual growth should be something that we should want to focus on every day, because when we're doing that, then the natural result is for us to share and to mentor those things that we're learning. And again, not coming to you saying that I got this all figured out and that I always do that, but it's a good reminder to me that I need to allow the Lord to work in my life, and I'm nowhere near where I need to be. And so that needs to be first and foremost, and then the outcry, the outpouring of that is I get to make a difference in other people's lives. Anyway, just want to tell you how much we love you, and you know, the encouraging notes that you send, keep doing those to each other, and just remind each other that we're in this together. I've seen several things lately that people have posted that I miss my church. You know, church is still here, guys, and let's just keep continuing on encouraging one another and loving each other. All right, have a great day, and talk to you soon.